This episode is brought to you by Future Group, delivering smarter, safer, and more sustainable solutions for the built environment. From fire safety to lighting and electrical, cutting-edge EV charging, advanced security systems, regeneration works, and full-scale decarbonisation, we've got your property needs covered. Trusted by property managers across the UK. Visit future-group.uk. Future Group, leading today for a better tomorrow.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond Four Walls, and I'm your host, Jodie Fraser, and today my guest is someone who embodies ambition, energy, and what it means to break the mould in the property management world, Sanj Solanki. Sanj's story is proof with the right mindset, mentorship, and a sprinkle of dog content, anything is possible. From securing a first-class degree in business management to landing his first taste of property management through a placement at Peer Group PLC, Sanj's career has been built on curiosity and hard graft. And since entering the industry in 2014, Sanj has been climbing steadily, earning his first estate coordinator role in 2017, and in 2025 being appointed Director at Trust Property Management. And let's not forget being crowned London Property Manager of the Year along the way. But there's more. Sanj brings a creative edge to his career too, having studied marketing to set himself apart and embracing personal branding in a way that few in our space do. He's also the proud dog dad to Toffee, the toy poodle. And today we're diving into ambition, balance, pressure and purpose in today's episode. So Sanj, welcome very much to Beyond Four Walls.
Thank you very much. That's an amazing intro.
No worries.
That's an amazing one. I can't top that. Even if I was to introduce myself, you've done a stellar job there.
Oh, thank you very much. So tell me a little bit about, growing up and your upbringing, what values or experience shaped your approach to work today?
So growing up, I was born and raised in Wembley, northwest London. Growing up, it was amazing. I mean, look, our parents never pressured us in anything and just basically said, look, do whatever you want as long as you're happy, basically. And that kind of was the kind of stepping stone for us, like me and my sister, to kind of just go off and do what we wanted rather than having this kind of not blanket kind of job requirement, more so the pressure free, meaning I could just flourish. And then it was just two of us. So yeah, we're similar ages, just 2 years between us. She's gone on to do pharmacy. I wanted to do property. Didn't know what type of properties until I got into university. But having said that, growing up was probably a good stepping stone for me to be where I am today. Brilliant.
And you've got the first class degree in business management. I did business management as well. Didn't get first though. So okay. Well done. Did you always know that you wanted to do property? Or you said then it was part of your degree that made you think you want to do property?
So growing up, I didn't know too much about property. It's a sore subject because vocationally, not many schools offer property as a subject, and I think it's wrong. I think it's all good and well, people learning maths, English, science, IT, fantastic, great. They need to have some property options as well as a subject because property is everywhere. For kids in this generation to come onto the property ladder, they're only going to know about it through friends and family. They're not going to actively understand from a young age. So I think considering it wasn't a core subject for me, I thought, you know what, I want to do something a little bit different just before uni. Some of my family members are in property. I've got people in, say, property accountancy, architects, project managers. So there has been construction as well. So there has been some property in the family. But going into a niche like residential block management isn't something that anyone in my family does. So being the first, it's nice to be that first person to kind of go in there and penetrate that element. And then the kind of other factor being the British, so as a British Asian, there's not many people in this scene anyway. There are a few, it's great, but there's not as many as say a white British male. So for me as well, I think that's fantastic, just to kind of bring more of us into the scene. It's nice. And then the taste of property kind of happened in uni. When I started doing property modules, real estate modules, I thought, you know what, this is fantastic. I can do this and I can smash it. Yeah. Qualified, got my first, went straight into property, and I thought, you know what, this is great.
So tell me about that journey then. So out of uni, straight into a property role. How did that journey your first estate coordinator job? How did you do your transition in just a few short years?
So I think the good thing is I did a placement year at uni, so that's where the peer group element happened. And I think that my true taste was there. So that was on a commercial side, very, very different to Resi. as I'm sure you know. There's no empathy there, because you're dealing with companies. They close up at 5:30, job done.
Yeah.
Whereas with the resi side, I'm dealing with people's issues, even personal issues. I'm a therapist, surgeon, doctor, you name it. I'm everything all in one. That element kind of taught me, wow, it was a crash course into property. I was with a person called Mark Phillips, who kind of mentored me into this kind of role initially, and he said, look, he's going to train me up, and I kind of owe it to him for
Yeah.
giving me the kind of crash course into block management, even though it's on a commercial side. And yeah, I just thought, you know what, I need to put my head down, and I need to smash this. Got the experience after 12 months, and then when I finished my degree, I thought, you know what, I've already got some experience, so ahead of my peers, I've got that experience. I can just get a job, whether it be as an assistant or whatever. So the estate coordinator role came up through Zoe at Block Recruit. She'll say as well that it's been a fantastic journey from her just placing me as a coordinator, now being at the heights of a director. So it's been a massive whirlwind of a journey, but it's been amazing. There's been no negatives. Of course, there's been a few blips along the way, but that's a learning curve for everybody. Everybody makes mistakes. You just learn from them. But in terms of the career stepping stones, there's been no mistakes. I've been quite loyal in the industry as well. I've not kind of moved around to many different agents. I've worked for 3 managing agents in my 11-year, 12-year career, which is quite good. And I think after that estate coordinator role, I said, again, I need to kind of knuckle down, get all the basics, do my qualifications, became affiliate, then AIRPM associate. And then only when I joined Parkgate is where I kind of hit the kind of senior management team. Then I thought, okay, members, associate RICS. That's when it kind of dawned on me, look, this is actually going really well. I love the job, love the industry. I've made a name for myself with the networking I do, and I've helped put various elements on the map, whether it be from a company stance or social media, digital marketing. I've done all that. I said, look, you know what, that's great. If I can do that here, I can definitely do it somewhere else. And if I've done it at 2 places, I'm doing something right. And that's always been kind of drilled into me. Keep the passion going, keep the fire light, work hard.
That's brilliant. And speaking of working hard, obviously achieving director at such a young age as well. First of all, congratulations. It's amazing. But how did that opportunity come about for you?
So when I joined Trust last year, June, I joined as an associate director. So I've already been a team leader at, say, my previous company, Parkgate, for about 2.5 years. So I've already had that kind of team management experience. And when Trust came in and offered an associate director position, I thought, fantastic, because in my head, I've always wanted to be at, say, a senior position, because I feel like I've built these skills which not necessarily you can teach. You have to kind of develop these along the way. The peers around me and the colleagues around me and the staff around me they've always had a lot of experience. So I've kind of rubbed shoulders with the right people, and I've kind of, I wouldn't say sponged off them with experience. I've kind of gained qualities they've had, and I've kind of adapted it in a way where I've made it my own. Like, I'm super laid back, but when the work needs to be done, I'm on it, get it done, move on. But my laid back approach helps with, say, clients and RMC directors who don't necessarily know the role. I've had to kind of go through the role, teaching them certain things about compliance and just making sure they make the right decision and things. And sometimes they need that laid back approach because they're a layman. We do it day in, day out. I had KPIs. I wouldn't say formal KPIs at Trust. When I joined as an associate director, there was a few things that they wanted me to achieve, and I pretty much hit them in month 1, month 2. And I think for them, it was a shock that, look, wow, you've done it this quickly. We obviously want to see you succeed, and we want you to be with us to succeed. So directorship is on the cards. And then when it came to earlier this year, when it happened, I was like, wow, like, even for Trust, they haven't necessarily hired someone at AD level. And for them to progress to director level in that short amount of time is history for them as well. So I think it's nice. And especially with the London Property Manager Award as well. It's nice for them to have somebody in their team who's got that award as well. And that's probably the creme de la creme of awards, I think. So many property managers, and to be in that mix, even to get shortlisted, I think was great. First time entering as well, and then first time to win it as well. I think it's epic.
Well, congratulations. That was going to be my next question, actually, about what it meant to you, because, I was there at the PMAs. I saw you win that. So congratulations.
It's, that's the icing on the cake for me. I think the last couple of years have been absolutely amazing for me, and I think I've gone from strength to strength. And it shows, look, hard work does pay off eventually. If you put your mind to it and don't give up. A lot of people, will necessarily give up after, say, getting battered with this health and safety, building safety, residence lease. So they can't necessarily juggle it all the time. And I think there should be better provisions in place to help people kind of deal with the mental health that goes around it. And you're doing a good job with the wellness stuff. And there's other people in the scene. You're welcome. Other people in the scene that are doing similar things about wellness and making sure your mental health's in check and you are switching off at certain times. It's a thankless job. No one's ever going to call you up to say, look, by the way, hi, my lift's working perfectly. This is working perfectly. End of phone call. They always call you up when there's issues. And sometimes you've got to kind of take that on the chin and just kind of deal with it. So yeah, winning London PM was fantastic. I mean, even though I've got the directorship and the associate director, I still manage properties myself. I've got a set of 6 high-rise buildings. So yeah, they're crazy to deal with in terms of the health and safety stuff, and the building safety properties as well, over 18. But yeah, still managing it, still on the tools. I'm not just kind of coming away from the job and saying, look, I'm just a senior manager. I'm not doing the actual job. I'm well and truly on the tools, working day in, day out, like every other property manager. So I think to get that award was brilliant.
Well, absolutely. But have there been moments of pressure like along the way? Like obviously going from estate coordinator to director in such a short space of time is absolutely incredible and something that you should be eternally, proud of. But have there been moments along the way where you felt the pressure has just been a bit overwhelming because of the jump that you've made so quickly?
I think, yeah, because I'm still young. I'm still in my 30s. So, and having to manage people that are, say, older than I am, who've got more experience, that's when the pressure comes in. Because I'm thinking in my head, look, why are these guys going to listen to me? Or why are they going to take orders from me? I've got no authority on them. They've got 20 years on me in experience and age. And then I come home and think, why? Why would they listen to me? And various other things crop into your head, like, am I good enough or whatever? And it's difficult to kind of find that happy medium. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to smash it. And it paid off. It worked out. I've got people in my team who are various ages, experience. Chloe's my assistant at the moment. I'm mentoring her she's an assistant PM and I'm mentoring her. She wants to be a PM. She's fantastic. And every day we spend a couple of hours together, just like training her on Section 20, showing about budgets. And she's eternally grateful for it as well, because at the end of the day, she knows where she wants to go, becoming a PM. And I'm glad I'm on that journey to help her get there. Satisfaction factors there. There's pressure every day for us. I mean, you know it well and truly. Your day, I've got a to-do list. I could probably get none of it done because an emergency happened.
Yeah, right.
Like today, just before chatting to you, I had a leak in one of our properties, and the woman was like, "I need you to deal with it right now. Get a leak detection company." I said, "Look, it's 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's going to be quite difficult for a leak detection company to drop everything, get a booking in. It might have to be tomorrow, but she's got this expensive chandelier that she's worried about, and various other things. And I'm trying to manage everybody's expectations here. So there is pressure. And it comes in various different forms. Pressure can be from your team members. I'm dealing with their issues as well. So sometimes they'll confide in me about their issues. Like I've got an issue here, Sanj, help me deal with it. But I've got an emergency at my properties. I've got to juggle my time and fit them in, and I can't leave them out because I need to make sure they're okay. How can I explain? The best way I've managed to deal with it is just take occasional breathers. Just say, look, breathe. I can sort this out, and just kind of crack down on the issues. And sometimes the team members just don't even have an issue. They just want someone to talk to, because the second opinion, and it kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Actually, look, you haven't got an issue. Let me help you out.
And sometimes you just need to say something like loud, don't you? Sometimes, if you're too in your head and you can't really think straight, sometimes just having that conversation with someone, saying the problem out loud, and then you kind of answer your own question at the same time, because it suddenly comes to you, or suddenly dawns on you that actually you already know the answer. You just needed someone to vent to, or to rant to, or whatever you wanted to do. But where does your drive come from? You describe yourself as someone who thrives under pressure, but where does that come from?
It's a weird one, because I didn't always start off this way. Like in terms of academia, growing up, I wasn't too fussed about education. And then I saw people around me in the family thinking, these guys are not necessarily driving all the flash cars and having the best properties. It's more so being the best. And I think from seeing a lot of people in the media, not necessarily celebrities and stuff like that, but there's a lot of people out there who are doing very, very well for themselves and comfortable. And I wanted to be in a position where I don't have to worry as such. And for me to get there, I need to have that drive. I need to be the best, or necessarily think I'm the best, but be the best amongst whoever's in the scene, just to kind of be a head and shoulders above them to make sure what I'm doing is right, but at the same time achieving everything I want to achieve. And I've got goals. I've had goals from day one. I didn't think I was ever going to achieve them, but they're dreams. But thankfully, I've made it happen. The goals themselves change year by year because as you get older and you get wiser and you want different things. So the drive's always going to be there. I wake up every day happy to come into work, happy to help people, happy to do my job, and I don't think that's going to go anytime soon.
So how do you maintain a work-life balance then? Because, I babble on all the time about
Yeah.
stress awareness and looking after yourself and
Mm.
well-being and all that kind of stuff. But it sounds like you're just there for, smashing it every day
Yeah.
from your 5 a.m. starts to, the minute you go to bed. So how do you, obviously that drive is what's given you that energy, but how do you
Mm.
look after yourself?
The way I look after myself, so I mean, it's weird, but people probably do it themselves. I regularly go to a spa. So once a month, I like to go for a spa break, down the tools, unwind, sauna, steam room, swim. It does help, honestly. It does help. And I don't necessarily go to a London spa. I normally go out to somewhere like Cheshire or Tring or somewhere completely out of the area where I know I'm going to struggle with signal. And that also is a two-in-one, kill two birds with one stone. I'm not going to get signal. I'm not going to get emails of people harassing me. I can successfully down the tools and I've got Zen. In terms of a daily process, I normally try and not answer emails after 6 o'clock because our out of hours team kicks in at that point. Let them crack on with it. If they've got a major emergency where they need, say, director approval or someone, a PM approval to kind of action some works, I'll send a quick text, but I try not to. I can mute notifications on the WhatsApp side so they know that I've got a certain time where I work. So that auto message comes on WhatsApp, which I trigger. There's so many different things that you can do with phones nowadays to kind of come away from the messaging. Because once you get in the habit of emailing after hours, it's a downward spiral from there, I think. Then you're just constantly on the go, and you're never going to switch off. And I have a set routine. Me and my partner, we have a set routine of what we do on a daily basis, and we stick to it. It normally consists of an hour of telly after work, dinner, walk with the dog. That kind of takes the kind of mental stress out of things as well. Because I live in Welling Garden City, so there's a lot of greenery around here as well. An hour with the dog helps as well, and that kind of just puts it into perspective. Like, look, we've come from the big smoke out of the area now, and it's just nice to kind of just get out there.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm all for, the dog well-being
Oh,
action. It's,
beautiful. Fantastic.
I used to have a
Yeah.
toy poodle. She's passed away now, but I had a toy
Ah,
poodle she was 13 when she died.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, she was
Oh,
amazing.
good dog.
They are good dogs. Although poodles are meant to be really intelligent, but mine was so stupid. Honestly,
Really?
she was not smart at all.
So
Um,
Toffee's unbelievable because he knows all the tricks, and my wife taught him from very young, so he
mm,
knows all of the commands like sit, spin, dance. He knows it all. He's on Instagram and he does a bit of dog ambassador stuff as well on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And you
like
see on
it.
LinkedIn, I've posted him a few times and stuff. It's nice.
Mm.
Everybody loves him. So yeah, it's nice. It
Everyone
makes me
loves
happy.
toffee. Well,
Yeah,
absolutely. Who doesn't love toffee?
yeah,
It's got to be
of course,
done. But
exactly.
talking about your support systems, then
Hmm.
who's been in your corner throughout this whole journey? And it could be. I know you mentioned about Mark earlier, but it could be professionally, personally. Who's had your corner?
I think my wife's had my corner from day one. Toffee's had my corner from day one since we've gone 4 years ago. Because when you come home, and there have been days where I've been at an AGM and I've really had like a couple of rounds in a boxing room with those guys. Not necessarily on a managing agent's basis, on their fault basically, but there's certain residents who say there's issues here, issues here, issues there, and sometimes just beats you down. So there
Hmm.
have been times where I've come up like bloody hell. Although it was a good AGM, that was tough. Toffee will welcome you with open arms, and that just brings a smile back to your face. Same with my wife. She's not in the industry; she's in pharmaceutical science, so she wouldn't necessarily understand the issues that block management has, but she understands it from a people perspective.
Of course.
So it's nice to kind of speak to someone that's not in the industry, if that makes sense. So more so like a soundboard. I can tell her about all these issues I've had in residential stuff, and she'll tell me all the issues I've had with our scientists and stuff like that. And it's nice to kind of bounce ideas off and bounce information off. That helps. I mean, look, men as a species, we don't talk. And I've had times where I've just said, you know what, I'm going home, I'm going to shut myself off
Yeah.
and I bottle it all up. And then the next day, I'm still in that kind of angry mood, or not angry mood. I'm in that kind of stressful kind of
Mm.
mood. Not necessarily taking it out on anyone, but you can tell it's building up. What I've done recently in the last 2 years, I've decided to talk about things a lot more, kind of get it off my chest straight away. And I feel like it helps with a lot of things. You need someone in your corner. Sometimes it could be, say, a friend at work. So if I've had an issue and I say, look, just your quick perspective on certain things, that can also help as well. That has helped in the past. And then you've got other people in the industry that not necessarily are in block management, but other people in the, say, property sector I've spoken to as well, to get their perspective on things. And it kind of helps. There's no judgment, I think. I always start off, don't judge me, but this is my problem. Help me out. And it kind of helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, if you go to somebody who's in the industry, even if they're a rival managing agent, if you like, we are all in the same boat. We are all
100%.
trying to get through the day sometimes. And can you say what the best piece of advice you've ever been given by somebody in the industry?
Yeah, so the best piece of advice I've been given by somebody in the industry is don't let something take over your life. Because I know there's people in the industry who have been kind of consumed by the whole stress and the issues, and it's affected their lives, it's affected their families. And I've always kind of understood that point. I don't try and fight too many fires, or don't take it home and deal with the fire. Then just prioritize your day. Don't worry about deeper issues. Yes, the issue is there, you can sort it out, but don't let it affect your life and consume you. Because I know people as well who have gone into various different mental health issues based on their work, the fact that they haven't had the work-life balance. And personally, I don't want to get there. And I don't think I will, because I've got the willpower to kind of help push that back. But it is a struggle for people out there who are kind of unable to kind of differentiate between work, life, and the balance. So best advice is that don't let it consume you.
Great advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done, right? Sometimes you're unfortunate and it just swallows you whole. As much as you can try, speak to people, get it off your chest. Talking is the best way.
Oh, absolutely. But you took some marketing qualifications alongside property. What inspired that decision? What made you do that?
This also helped with my kind of London PM application. I think I wanted to be very different. So being in the property industry, in the block management industry, there's many property managers out there, and I wanted to kind of separate myself from, I wouldn't say competition, because we're all friends. I know most people in the industry, it's quite a small industry. Just say other candidates, if you're kind of going for a role and you kind of want to excel and be different. I thought, what things am I good at? So I'm good at kind of communicating, talking, quite creative. And I thought, you know what? There's a platform called Free Courses in England. You can do various different courses on there. And I kind of wanted to go into marketing, because I thought, you know what? It's not, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I'm saying it's something I can grasp. So I did a couple of courses on it. I thought, you know what, this is actually quite easy in terms of understanding the digital marketing side of things. So I did all the courses, got the paperwork, got the documents. I thought, you know what, if I can do that as well as property management, I'm in a niche here. I'm going to be easily hireable. If somebody wants a digital marketer to be a property manager at the same time, do all their digital marketing, do all their website management, do all their social media, do LinkedIn, I'm onto a winner here. So once I did that, I started doing it for Parkgate. Then I started doing it for Trust. And at the moment, I'm doing it for Trust at the minute, fully managing their LinkedIn. We've revamped 3 websites that I've been a part of. I do all their social media, do all the Google reviews. Like, since joining Trust, we've excelled in Google. We've got all 5-star reviews now. We're averaging just over 4-star. LinkedIn followers have jumped up massively. I put a analytics post the other week on LinkedIn, skyrocketed. So understanding the nuances behind analytics and the marketing element really helped. And I thought, I just don't want to be a property manager. I want to learn more. So the best of both worlds. And if ever my property management career fails, I've got marketing to fall back on.
Well, there you go. And digital is the way forward, isn't it?
The way forward, yeah.
But you've mentioned before, and when we've spoken at events and stuff like that as well, that that you want to be different. So what does that mean for you?
So what it means to be different is I don't want to be put in one kind of pigeonhole. If someone says to me, describe Sanj, I want them to describe me with 1,000 different adjectives. I just don't want to be referred to as a property manager, because I'm better than that, and I'm bigger than that. I'm a big personality, and I feel like being different is what's going to make you excel in this industry. It's a very, very tough industry. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of people coming out of the industry. I want to help retain and bring people into the industry, which is why I kind of felt really, really happy mentoring Chloe in my team, because I thought, you know what, I'm so happy that you want to be a PM. You've seen what I do on a daily basis. You sit directly next to me. You've come in as an APM. and you actually want to become a PM, it's really, really nice. So what's different, or what makes me feel good that I'm different, is the fact that I can be placed in different pigeonholes, different circumstances, and I won't crumble.
Yeah.
Ride the roller coaster.
Great advice, which actually, if somebody was coming into the industry now, whatever age that might be, they might
Yeah.
be graduate level, they might be
Mm.
16, just left college or just left school, or they could be in their 50s trying to start a new career. What bringing new talent into the industry is really important, I think, because we've got
Mm.
such a gap between,
100%.
what we need and the people that we've got. So what would you say to someone who was just wanting to come in and do what we do?
I think patience is one of the most critical attributes you can have as a junior PM or a APM. I've hired people where they know that the industry is easy to get promoted in, and they feel like I've come in, I can get promoted in a week's time or 2 weeks time or 6 months time because they understand how to do a Section 20. So having patience is key here. Not every company is the same. Not everyone's hiring process is the same. So patience, I think, is an attribute people need in the industry. You've also got to learn the job thoroughly before you can kind of move on to the next stage. So I think advice to somebody coming in as well, if shadow someone as much as you can, learn the kind of ropes first before kind of jumping ahead. Because if you jump ahead, it's going to be a baptism of fire.
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think I would want to, if I was starting out now and I was hit with cladding crisis, building safety
Mm.
act, fire issues, complaints coming out my ears because,
Yeah.
just because they can and it can be done quicker. Whereas when I started, many, 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 many moons ago, when I was having a conversation with somebody about this the other day, that, you would get a letter and you had time to respond to that letter. And yes, there were emails, but just not as many as what we get
Mm.
now. And,
Yeah.
technology helps, of course it does, but I'm not sure if I would be resilient enough, certainly when I was early 20s to do it now. I mean, or in the circumstances that we're in now, if I was 20 years younger, I'm just not sure I'd have the resilience to do it.
Yeah, it's tough because with all the emails and stuff, everybody wants to reply yesterday. Like
Mm,
it's nuts. Like we get emails in now saying, please confirm receipt in the next hour, please confirm receipt in the next 24 hours. You don't get a chance to deal with the kind of backlog because there's always going to be a backlog, or because you've got major issues going on. And there's leaseholders saying, I've got leaks, I've got this, I want to reply today, I want to reply yesterday, and there's WhatsApp communication now. So although
yeah.
tech's moving in the right direction, it's kind of not helping us PMs kind of manage the workload and different channels of communication. So yeah, it's tough to find the balance, but it's working. And there's softwares out there now which are kind of helping to kind of deviate from emails. Like you've got the dwellings and you've got the cubes and you've got the fixed flows, which kind of divert communication in one way, and you kind of disseminate it into various different things that way. So yeah, there are different things there which are here to help, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, thankless task we do,
It's
thankless job.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads me on to one of my final questions. What does good leadership look like to you?
I think there's loads of different things that make a good leader. So if I give examples of how I've kind of developed into a leader and what I've done as a leader, that might kind of help here. So as a leader, I think doing the job yourself, understanding the difficulties behind the job, and then leading a team helps massively. So in my
Mm,
team, I've got a team of say 8 PMs and assistant property managers. Those guys are doing the job as well as I'm doing the job. So if they've got issues, I'm straight away on the phone to them, telling them this is what I would do, or this is how I would approach it, or this is what I would do to make this situation better. And they're fundamentally grateful for that. I'll always drop what I'm doing to help my team. And I don't always think senior management or some leaders do that. They think, okay, it's your issue, grow up and deal with it, or you need to deal with it just to kind of learn how to deal with it. But I don't think that's always necessarily the best approach. I would happily sit there, take 5 minutes out of my kind of what I'm doing on my day, understand the process, tell them how I would approach it. And then in the future, if they're tasked with that situation again, they know what they're doing. So I think
yeah.
having time, a lot of people in the industry are time poor. It's not their fault. The job is just
Mm,
so busy, busy, busy that you
yeah.
haven't got time to offer anybody. The luxury I have is I can prioritize my day in a certain way where I can offer time, and I've offered time to my colleagues, because if I ever need them, I know I've got them to help me, or I can
Yeah.
rely on them. Just being that friendly face. Leadership isn't just always about commanding and telling people what to do. I think as a leader, you need to be that friendly face that they turn to when there's an issue and they know they can rely on you. And for me, going home at the end of the day, knowing I've helped X people is the satisfaction I need, just to kind of
Mm.
go to bed and say like, yeah, it's been a good day.
Oh,
And I'll
brilliant.
continue. Look, I'll continue to do it. There's never been a day where I've said like, I can't help you, or I've shouted at someone. I've never shouted at anybody. I just don't think that's the best approach. There are times where I say I've got a bit upset with someone, but there's a way of handling it, and I feel like shouting at someone's just going to alienate them more.
Yeah.
That's not a good leader in my eyes. Good leaders lead from the front, tackle the issues, deal with it together if you have to. But the person who's you've kind of helped has learned from it. So learning is a good attribute.
And lead by example.
100%. Yeah. If I'm doing what they're doing and I can shape what they do and help them in the future, definitely leading by example. They know.
And so what's next for you? What's the next step?
Oh, look, it's a funny question because even when asked what's my next 5-year plan or whatever, look, I think fundamentally I want to do what I'm doing at the moment, help the team grow trust as much as possible. Like on the new business front, I'm doing the new business, the website stuff, retaining clients, managing clients. For me, I think because I've been in the directorship role for say a couple of months now, just continue at that kind of senior level, helping the business, helping the team, doing what I can, and the world is my oyster, I guess. But yeah, now it's time to kind of knuckle down and just do what I need to do. Yeah. There isn't any kind of drastic changes happening and stuff like that I need to kind of worry about from my perspective, because I've got to where I want to be in my life and I'm really, really content. Now it's just see if I can help shape the industry in a better way.
Definitely.
Bring in some PMs, train some PMs up, train some APMs. For me, that's the goal.
Well, I love that. And you should be incredibly proud of yourself. You've done amazingly. And yeah, is there anything you'd like to add before we go? No,
it's been an amazing journey, and the awards are coming up, the ACE Awards. Let's see if I bag another one for the year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, look, I've put a couple of applications in, one for trust, one for me. So let's see. And then the PMOs all over again. So every year, I've set myself goals, and if I hit those goals, then it's a good year for me. Don't give up. That's the final word. Don't give up. It's a tough job, but it's a rewarding job.
Definitely is. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks, Jodie. Thanks for having me on. It's been amazing.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my latest podcast. You can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the show notes. Or you can contact me on jodie@jodiefraser.com. For more content and updates, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on your favourite platforms. Thank you once again for listening. Until next time, take care.